everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I am Andrea.
And I am Danny.
I am Camelo.
And we are the Vintage Coffee. Today, we are going to talk about Feynman technique. Attributed to different personalities, several variations of the following quote have circulated for years. If you cannot explain it simply, then you don't understand it well enough. This is exactly what the Feynman technique is about. If you want to properly understand something, imagine explaining it simply to someone. Imagine, yes, you don't need to actually enlist someone to help, just use your imagination. In fact, this is essential to students and learners of any subject. Moreover, to those people who cannot focus on something, this is so useful.
Sometimes, dividing problems into small pieces helps. Besides, it's more practical to make those problems as simple as you can. In that way, you can get. The Feynman technique is effective for getting a solid understanding of even hard new topics you are learning from scratch. It can also help you deepen your understanding of ideas you already know, or even help you remember ideas you already understand well. But don't you forget when you are under pressure, like in an exam.
Those aspects make it a really efficient way to study for exams. Most students spend a lot of time studying for exams, which in many cases doesn't guarantee they get good results. As this technique can make your studying more efficient, it can save you a lot of time that you can spend elsewhere rather than studying. The Feynman technique comes straight from one of the greatest teachers, Richard Feynman. Feynman was a renowned Nobel Prize-winning physicist who taught at the California Institute of Technology. He was a legend as a professor, and due to his innovative study techniques, people usually called him the Great Explainer. He introduced complex topics and ideas by connecting them with more familiar stuff that everyone could relate to. The Feynman technique just requires following some simple steps.
Step 1. Pick a subject. Choose the topic you want to work on. As you may want to keep a record of this process, you can put your chosen subject at the top of a blank page, like a title. As an example, let's say I want to learn how a washing machine works. Step 2. Find and study information about the subject. It is important that you collect and have access to as much information as possible about your subject, whatever works best for you. You can make use of several resources such as books, videos, etc.
Some people prefer to read rather than watching videos. So, just find the way that best suits your needs. And your way of learning. This way, it will be easier to understand the information you are collecting. The idea is stocking yourself information about your chosen topic. Study as much as you feel comfortable before advancing to the next step. Turning to the example in this step, all the information about the subject will be collected. Books, user manual, videos, etc.
Step 3. Pick someone to pretend explaining this to. You just need to imagine that you're going to explain this topic to someone else, but it may make it easier for you to choose someone you actually know. The important thing is that you keep in mind that you need to explain it in a very simple language, so that might influence your choice. You could choose someone who is very young, or go to the other end and choose someone who's older than you, but may find it difficult to understand it anyway.
Explain it in a simple language. Try to explain this concept as simple as you can. You can write out your explanation on a piece of paper. Or you can pretend to give a lecture on the subject to the person you choose. Remember, you want to explain this topic as simple as you can. This means using simple vocabulary without complicated words, which forces you to explain this concept. A good way to tell how well you really understand it is write and speak at the same time, just as a teacher does while they are in front of the class. Using the blackboard to explain, this makes you realize which parts of fully understand and where you still have gaps. Be mindful of writing down these gaps as you notice them.
Step 4. Fill in the gaps.
Address the gap in knowledge that the previous step allowed you to identify. You need to better understand the extent of this gap and how deeply you want to understand. Phrasing questions whose answer will fill the gap can help to fulfill both functions. After you write down a set of questions for each gap, you can proceed to find the answer for your question by reading, watching videos, or whatever you find works better for you. You might have multiple questions at the end of the full explanation, but it is all a process.
Step 5. Repeat steps 1 through 4. So that's it for this video. We hope you can practice this technique soon and that it might be useful for you to repeat the process. Each time you find a knowledge gap in your explanation, you do more research to fill it in. You're going to have an easier time explaining this concept to your hypothetical model. You want to repeat this process over and over again until you can finally explain everything there's to know about the concept without using any complicated words. This ensures that you yourself have developed a deep understanding of how exactly a concept works.
That is all. We hope this was useful for you. If you like this content, our video, and you want to know more about how you can become a more productive student, we invite you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you soon in the next video. And remember, staying good at whatever you do is a lifelong journey rather than a destination. Bye bye.